Hey, this is Dave coming to you from inside Base Stencil and from inside King Spray Graffiti, which is a virtual environment for spray painting using stencils and other things. And today I want to show you a little bit about what it's like to paint a portrait stencil. In particular, I'm going to show you a little bit about what it means to interpret the stencil as you're painting it. So basically, I'm going to paint one time when I paint everything precisely and cover completely and paint just one color. And the other time, I'm going to interpret it a little bit as I go. I'm going to change the colors as we go, and you'll see what that means. I'm going to use a stencil of a young man, and first thing I'm going to do is make a nice white wall here so that I can paint just the darker layers of the stencil on white. And that's a common technique. You know, in portrait painting, you always have dark light, and the lightest, in order to get the biggest contrast, the lightest layer is white. You can try different things, mix it up on your own. I found that this works for me. Let's do a second one here, because we're going to have two to compare. Okay, this is the lighter layer of our young gentleman here. I'm just going to put him in, firm mid-tone gray there. And I'm just going to give it full coverage. Okay, doesn't look bad, but maybe you want to add a little flair. Maybe you want to do something a little bit different. That is super fast, and we're going to do a compare and contrast. See if we can do any better. So we kind of want to look at this reference image and see how we can improve on it. I'm going to go back to the stencils. I'm going to use the same stencil I did before. Let's see here. I'm going to do this layer first. This is the light layer. I'm going to notice what kinds of patterns I see here. Actually, I see that this part here is a little bit darker than the central part. So it's a little darker around the edges, and the eyes are a little bit darker, but the rest of it is a little bit lighter. So I'm going to use that when I do these grays. Again, I'm going to use the same gray, and this time I'm going to use a little less pressure because I'm not going to seek to totally cover it all. I'm going to do a light layer over the whole thing to give it a dusting, and then I'm going to spend a little bit more time. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the eyes. And the jacket is basically super dark, but I can do a little bit of a silhouette or framing effect here. If I go around the sides and just don't go all the way to the edge, I'll get a little bit of softer edge on the portrait, which might be nice. We'll see. I notice a big difference between them, and you might, oops, looks like I left my little guy down there. I'm going to go off the stencil so that we don't see him, but I'm going to go a little bit closer and just take a slightly darker, deeper look. It looks like I lost some of the raccooniness of that super dark edginess around the eyes, and you see more detail in the black because I didn't hit it so hard with the black this time. I just kind of went under. I did go a little too dark under the chin here. I should have done a little bit less on that, but I do like the fact that the tie and the combination with the shirt and the tie is super crisp, and that you don't have so much, you don't have this outline around the shoulders so hard and crisp, because light would naturally fall on the tops of the shoulders more anyway. And this gives it a little bit of a vignette look to it. You could even expand on that. You could just go back over with your white. Let's see, we're just totally screwing this up here, but if you wanted to just totally lose those edges, and do something like that, it might be nice. You could do the same thing here. And you can also fix some of these little problems with bridges, like if I want to fill in that bridge, and I want to do that with a thin line. Okay, that's it. This is Dave signing off from Stencil.